Welcome back to our organic farming series. In this episode, we'll be discussing farm planning and design. Farm planning is critical for a successful organic farm. Without a plan, your farm could fail due to poor crop selection, inefficient layout, or inadequate resources. The first step in farm planning is creating a farm plan. This plan will serve as a roadmap for your farm and will help you make informed decisions about your operation. A good farm plan should include a detailed map of your land, including the location of buildings, fences, and natural features such as streams or hills. This will help you visualize your farm and make decisions about where to plant crops or graze livestock. The plan should also include a list of the crops you plan to grow, along with their planting and harvesting schedules. It's important to consider market demand when selecting your crops, as well as factors such as climate suitability and soil type. In addition to crop selection, your farm plan should also include a budget for inputs such as seeds, fertilizers, and labor. This will help you estimate your revenue and make informed decisions about your farm's future. Your farm plan should also consider potential risks and challenges, such as pests and diseases, weather events, and market fluctuations. By identifying these risks, you can develop strategies to mitigate them and ensure the long-term success of your farm. Overall, creating a farm plan is a critical first step in farm planning. A good farm plan includes a detailed map of your land, a list of crops and their planting schedules, a budget for inputs, and consideration of potential risks and challenges. Another important aspect of farm planning is crop selection. The crops you choose to grow will impact the profitability and sustainability of your operation, as well as the health of the environment. When selecting crops, it's important to consider factors such as climate, soil type, and market demand. For example, if you live in a region with long, hot summers, you might choose to grow heat-tolerant crops such as tomatoes, peppers, and melons. If you have heavy clay soil, you might choose to grow crops that are tolerant of these conditions, such as winter wheat or collard greens. It's also important to consider the potential environmental impacts of your crop choices. Some crops require large amounts of water or fertilizer, which can lead to pollution and soil degradation. Other crops may require heavy pesticide use, which can harm beneficial insects and soil microbes. By selecting crops that are well suited to your local conditions and using sustainable growing practices, you can minimize the environmental impact of your operation. In addition to selecting individual crops, it's also important to consider crop rotations and intercropping. Crop rotations can help prevent soil-borne diseases, reduce weed pressure, and maintain soil fertility. Intercropping, or growing multiple crops together, can also provide benefits such as increased pest control, improved soil health, and increased biodiversity. By carefully selecting your crops and implementing sustainable growing practices, you can help ensure the long-term viability of your operation while minimizing the environmental impact. In addition, selecting crops that are in high demand in your local market can help improve the profitability of your operation. Overall, crop selection is a critical aspect of farm planning that impacts both profitability and sustainability. Key considerations include climate, soil type, market demand, environmental impact, and crop rotations and intercropping. Once you have a farm plan in place, the next step is to consider the design of your farm. The design of your farm will impact the efficiency of your operations and the health of your crops and animals. One important aspect of farm design is the layout of your fields and pastures. It's important to consider factors such as soil type, drainage, and sunlight when planning the layout of your farm. This will help you maximize yields and minimize erosion and runoff. Another important aspect of farm design is the placement of infrastructure such as buildings, fences, and irrigation systems. These elements should be placed in a way that maximizes their functionality and efficiency. For example, you might place a barn in a central location that is easily accessible from all fields. When designing your farm, it's also important to consider the needs of your crops and animals. For example, if you plan to graze livestock, you'll need to provide them with adequate pasture and water sources. If you plan to grow crops, you'll need to consider factors such as crop rotation, pest management, and soil fertility. In addition to the layout of your farm, the design of your equipment and tools can also impact the efficiency of your operations. It's important to select equipment that is appropriate for the size and scale of your operation, and to maintain your tools and equipment regularly to ensure their longevity. Overall, the design of your farm is critical for the efficiency of your operations and the health of your crops and animals. Key considerations include the layout of your fields and pastures, the placement of infrastructure, the needs of your crops and animals, and the design of your equipment and tools. Another important aspect of farm planning is selecting the right equipment and tools for your operation. Depending on the size and scale of your farm, you may need a variety of tools and equipment to manage your crops and maintain your land. When selecting equipment, it's important to consider factors such as cost, efficiency, and durability. While newer and more high-tech equipment may seem appealing, they can also be expensive and require specialized maintenance. Used or older equipment may be more affordable, but may also require more maintenance and repairs over time. It's also important to consider the specific needs of your operation when selecting equipment. For example, if you have a small-scale operation, you may be able to use hand tools such as hoes and shovels instead of larger machinery. If you have a larger operation, you may need tractors, plows, or irrigation equipment to manage your crops. In addition to selecting the right equipment, it's important to maintain and care for your tools properly. Regular cleaning, sharpening, and maintenance can help extend the life of your tools and improve their performance. It's also important to store your tools properly to prevent rust and other forms of damage. By selecting the right equipment and tools and maintaining them properly, you can improve the efficiency and productivity of your operation. This can help reduce labor costs and improve your bottom line. In addition, selecting tools and equipment that are durable and well suited to your operation can help minimize waste and reduce the environmental impact of your operation. In overall, selecting the right farm equipment and tools is a critical aspect of farm planning. Key considerations include cost, efficiency, durability, and the specific needs of your operation. Proper maintenance and care can help improve the longevity and performance of your tools and equipment. Resource management is another important aspect of farm planning. Efficiently managing resources such as water, soil, and energy can help reduce waste and improve the sustainability of your operation. Water is a critical resource for farming, and it's important to use it wisely. Depending on your location and the size of your operation, you may need to consider water management strategies such as drip irrigation or rainwater harvesting. By using water-efficient technologies and practices, you can reduce your water usage and lower your costs. Soil management is also a critical aspect of resource management. Soil health is essential for crop growth, and it's important to maintain soil fertility through practices such as crop rotation, cover cropping, and the use of organic fertilizers. By using these practices, you can reduce soil erosion, increase organic matter, and improve the long-term health and productivity of your soil. Energy management is another important aspect of resource management. Depending on the size and scale of your operation, you may need to consider energy-efficient technologies such as solar panels or wind turbines. By using renewable energy sources, you can reduce your reliance on fossil fuels and lower your energy costs. Waste management is also an important consideration when it comes to resource management. By reducing waste and implementing recycling and composting programs, you can minimize your environmental impact and reduce your costs. In overall, efficient resource management is a critical aspect of farm planning that can help reduce waste, improve sustainability, and lower costs. Key resources to consider include water, soil, energy, and waste. By implementing sustainable practices and technologies, you can help ensure the long-term viability of your operation. By creating a detailed farm plan, selecting the right crops, designing an efficient layout, and managing resources effectively, you can create a productive and sustainable organic farm. Thank you for watching this episode on farm planning and design. Be sure to tune in to our next episode on soil health and fertility.